Hey, Quants, it looks like we might be getting a bit of a pullback on BTC this morning. I mentioned yesterday that it would be nice to see a close that held above this channel. I also mentioned in the context of GAN, it would be nice. You could look at this as somewhat of an ascending triangle or a Mexican peep pattern. And so with that said, nothing really conclusive just yet. This could just be a retest before we get continuation, which would be ideal in terms of seeing the market further develop to the long side. But as it is right now, if we do close back below that I guess this kind of channel that I have drawn here, then it's not necessarily going to be bullish. I wouldn't give up on the market entirely, but I will say that if that happens, it might look like it's doing exactly what it's done before, which is just closing below this and then continuing back down to the bottom of the channel. Now, who's to say that might not just be another lower high? We do have on the trend for the GAN swing indicator here, we do have all trends looking green. So, and we do have the 821 cross. So, so far, I would say there's really nothing exciting happening just yet, just kind of maybe teasing people around here. And also, I did mention this before, professionals tend to control the close, although this is a 24-hour market. There will be a daily close, but it doesn't close at the same time traditional markets close. So with that said, if you are looking to get long, this could potentially be a good area to get long. If you're playing the master strategy and you want to utilize the 821 EMA touches for a chance to get into the market after it has flipped green, that's typically not a bad way to go. But of course, I haven't actually put those into something like the skeleton key to fully test those and validate those ideas. Just from a discretionary standpoint, that's generally tends to work, be a good a good play. However, you would want to make sure you have your stop losses set in that, because as I mentioned before, the market can continue going down and we could end up all the way back here. And who knows if we're not, if we don't just continue further. And all the short-term excitement that we've had is nothing more than just a opportunity to get people into the market to sell off. So manage your positions thusly. So let's go ahead and take a real quick look at silver. I took just a brief glance and it looks like we're getting some more continuation. So all-time highs again on silver. That is good. Oh, I need to put I want to get another copy of this. Maybe I'll just do that right now. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to copy this indicator, copy, and then I'm going to paste it, paste. And the reason I am doing that, if it doesn't take forever to copy, which it looks like it might, do I not see it? It's taking a while to copy here. So paste. There we go. Paste. Okay. The reason I'm doing that is because I wanted to do this last time. I want to just enable this. What I probably could do here is I'm going to turn off the trend on this one. I'm just going to disable these for the time being. Did that not take? Disable. Show. I'm going to make this the 1 bar and I'm going to make this green. And that's what I'm going to run with for this one. And the reason I'm doing that is so that I can easily flip between these without having to go into the settings. And so these swing lows for the 1 bar might be good areas to place your... Did I turn off the trend? I might be growing crazy because I could have swore that these were showing all green. Well, maybe it just took a minute to re-render and now I'm going crazy. So in any case, the setting, we talked about stops before, so setting stops below these swing lows might not be a bad idea, since we're getting, we have this kind of parabolic trend. If I go up on a weekly time frame here, This is probably going to get dragged out a little bit farther, but anyways, we have this on the weekly time frame. We have been going parabolic, and so as a result, you might want, if you're trying to capture more profit, depending on how long it took you to get into the trade. If you're in that trade, you might want to consider trailing below the previous candle or even this candle on the weekly time frame to really keep those profits. But all that said, things are looking pretty good from a standpoint in silver, continuing to move to all-time highs. And not much more to say beyond that. So we will leave it there. I want to continue with my Linux setup, as I mentioned before. I'm still doing some recording there. Things have been a little bit clunky on some areas, but much better on other areas. So going to continue pushing forward with that and see if I can get a new video in doing some gaming stuff. So I'll do that. I wanted to do that on Linux. I had I mentioned before, I'm a controller player, so I had Bluetooth working. That was the thing that I had to fix with my computer. I don't know why, it just dropped out. And then I got that working. And then this morning I came in and I started working again and noticed that it dropped out again. So all the joys that come with Linux stuff. So however, I did notice it was also on the Windows setup as well. So that caused some craziness, but I will probably be looking at that a little bit later. I don't think, based on how I fixed it yesterday, I don't think I need to go ahead and take my computer apart again, because that tends to be fairly disruptive. But we'll keep an eye on that. And now, since I'm on the daily time frame, and I'm just going to mention this since I'm looking at this, there's a potential for some divergence to develop here. So again, figure out a way to protect those profits if you guys are in profits, and make sure you don't give it all back. And I hope you all have a good one. Peace, quants.